Alrighty, it's Tuesday, March 13th, 2012, and this is my second attempt to record this. The first attempt was interrupted by nature, so I was able to get the news done again last night. I decided that the news will be 5 days a week for Mondays and Fridays, with nothing on the weekend. Because it really seems that things start to trail off over over the weekend, so there's not really too much to actually report on. And if you've been watching the news, you'll find it's the same issues more or less over and over again in the news. I mean, the news could be sort of summed up into to two primary categories: the United States, and the Middle East. The Middle East is always a constant in the news. Something to do with Europe, and then everyone else sort of gets occasionally something else goes on. And the thing is, here's where it would actually come in. How it would other countries come in. Well, Afghanistan comes in because of the United States. Pakistan comes in, but it's more often to do with the United States. It's done in Pakistan, including is destabilization. Now, if you want to know why I'm doing the news, it's because there's an enormous amount of misinformation out there. And even the major news outlets, it's not. Sometimes they outright lie to you, just the way they did during the Iraq War. And other times, they just simply leave information out that needs to be put in there. Like, I'll have on the news an interesting piece for those of you who are still interested in Kony 2012. I'm going to have a very interesting piece for you because I found some good sources on Kony 2012 that I'm going to be talking to, and then eventually I'll put together a piece on Kony 2012. And I'm not going to be making the millions of dollars the way those film brothers did, wherever those guys were, the Invisible Children. At this point in time, from the research I've seen, Invisible Children is a correct title because there's no real children there. They're kind of invisible. The children that are of the invisible children are more or less figments of the imagination, if you want to call them hallucinations, or you can choose your words, because it really doesn't seem to be anything there at all. I checked their IRS records, their filing records, and they don't list themselves as a charity in the sense that they're actually going to do something. Their primary charity function that they list as on this, most charities have done this, is to educate and create awareness. That's the term, and that's the term they use. The sole function of this venture, this quote-unquote charity that's going to change the world, is to create awareness and educate. That's it. That's all the definition is. That's all they have to do in order to meet their charitable goals. So as long as they're out there filming and producing videos, then all that money they collect is free and non-taxable. For those of you who don't know, any charity that does that meets that basic charitable goal, and again, they don't have. If you're educating and creating awareness, you don't actually have to do anything except for these viral videos. That money you collect is tax-free. It's not taxable. So this is what, if we wonder why a lot of celebrities, well, most celebrities, you always hear them talking about their charities. The reason why they have their charities is not because they're generous and want to help people. It's primarily because it's a tax shelter. It's a way to, it's some place to pull your money that's tax free, that you can't be taxed on. So, and the thing is, if you get paid a good amount of money from there, even if, like these people are getting, this is they're in the ballpark. What I was saying, they're getting paid about $90,000 a year for this. There's also expenses. There's, they lump in a lot of other things. So just their base salary is $90,000, where in other charities I've seen to go all the way up to $200,000 a year and more. And all they're doing is educating and creating awareness. That's their sole function. They don't. If you're looking at a medical charity, right, and even the Heart and Stroke Foundation, a lot of these other charitable foundations, they're not giving a large chunk of what they have to research. They've changed their category of charity from actually being a research charity into their primary goal is to create, to educate and create awareness. Look for this. This is a whole new buzz phrase now in the charity industry. That anytime you hear they're creating awareness and educating, that's the primary goal of that charity. They don't have to do anything other than educate and create awareness in order to collect that money, to be legally collecting that money. So this is something to be sort of wary of when you are giving to a charity. What I hope to get started today, and I'll leave it in the down bar. As I said, my funding cycle is starting all over again, and I'm not a good salesperson, but this is sort of my attempt at it. And I'll leave my funding link down below. And what you're funding is, your money is going directly to research, and you can see the institutes that are listed. I have a Facebook page that discusses privately funded research and the institutes that I support. And basically it's me. I'm the scientist, I'm the researcher, and it goes into a lot of the research that I do. And you'll see this here on Comment Sex as we continue forward, and my channels start to get going. You'll see more and more of the research, and sort of the next step for me, the next goal for me, is now I'm producing two videos a day on a regular basis. I'm doing Comments X and I'm doing the news at night. I have to start doing a third video a day, in the day, to keep up with my publication schedule that I need to get done for the next few months. Anyways, just to get my proper presentation out there. So that's going to be a challenge for over the next I think it's going to it'll probably take me more than 2 months to get used to the work schedule and get everything in there. It's a bit of a challenge because once you start working regularly on things, it's kind of like when I went by Cassandra BigBangTheoryRL. She's having a hard time getting used to her work. She's doing a lot of video editing now, but she's sitting at her video editing desk for hours and feels in many ways as if she's being chained to that desk. And I know how she feels, because occasionally you see when she does her videos that there's food beside her desk, and that's just the way it is that, I mean, I literally rolled out of bed. This is see this as I do a room tour, hopefully sometime this week. This is my bedroom. I'm sitting on the couch inside my bedroom, and I just literally rolled out of bed a few minutes ago. But then again, I didn't, but then again, I'm not finishing before 6 o'clock in the morning. So I finish at 6 o'clock in the morning, or later sometimes, and then I'm up again at around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I just start my day with common text. And so now, the rest of the day I sort of sit down and plan out what I'm going to get done and how I'm going to do it. Like I said, I've got several documentaries to start getting organized, and I've got the shows to work on. The Ubuntu BSD Unix Intel. I have to get some of these type of documentaries, these commentaries, up for the university for a program particularly for a program called UEP, Undergraduate Extension Program. The Undergraduate Extension Program, I'll also put that in the down bar, is for anyone from grades 3 to grade 12. It does, literally as it says, it extends the undergraduate program of the university down to students who want to do more with their lives, who want more of a challenge. One of the issues going on now when a lot of kids finish university is they really don't know how to find a job afterwards. And I'm getting a lot of inquiries, and this is sort of another program that I'm starting up, and I'll put a link to it in the down bar as well. Is an education program for students, an employment program for students that helps them find jobs. But if you want to do something differently in life, and you're young, you're not in university, you're basically younger than undergrad, so basically grade 3 to grade 12. You can check this program out. You don't have to go anywhere. It's all done online, and there is a YouTube channel for this for the whole university, but I'll be putting the tutorials under the UEP section first, and then the higher levels, the undergraduate levels later on, maybe sometime next year. Anyways, Cassandra is sort of feeling like, she wants to do more, and you can do more in life, but the thing is, if you're sitting, and I know how long video editing takes, there's a whole chunk where you have to sit and wait for the whatever you're doing to render. The computer has to sort of, once you've done all the editing, the computer has to put all the chunks together, and that could take, that could even take a couple hours to do. You could sit there for a couple hours waiting for the computer to finish doing its work before you can start working on the next piece if you're doing several videos during the day. This was sort of my issue, and this is why I built the network, readjusted the network the way I did, so that I can offload the rendering to other systems on the network and have them do the rendering work and leave a system open so I can continue working forward. And this is sort of the situation I'm in now. I've got to still work out some kinks and bugs in it in terms of how things actually end up working out, but on the whole, it's there, it works to a certain degree. It does have to be tweaked, but at least it's there, and I can get some of the editing done that I need to get done. Who else I go about? Well, yeah, there's a new friend I'd like to say hello to. The new group that I'm hanging out with is that we wear pantyhose. She's an interesting girl. There are certain people that this is what I like about some of the blogs. Some of the blogs I go by and they stay on a regular basis. This includes Helicopter from Right and Proper Ladies. There's a personality there that I really like, and as I wrote this to Helicopter, that every time I go by, she's doing something kind of off the wall, and it makes me laugh. It doesn't matter how bad my day is that you go by and you see this and it's like, woo, this is funny, and it gets you. Even if you don't laugh like laugh out loud like LOL, even if just sometimes it makes you smile, and that's kind of the way it is. And and I have my neighbor who the thing is that I didn't even know that she's my neighbor. This girl named Angela that I met on Project 12. I met this girl, Angela. I think she's in grade 8. And she's an interesting person too, but I didn't realize that when she was describing some of the bits of her neighborhood. I know that neighborhood, and as we started talking back and forth, I realized that we're neighbors. So I like to say hi, Angela, who is my neighbor. Hi, neighbor. So I have that shout out there too. Um, yeah, that's sort of the way I've been doing things. I watch all my kids shows while I can't, and this is sort of what we were Pantyhose were talking about, doing more than one thing at a time. Apparently, either she knows or is friends with NerdsRL, because she comments on NerdsRL as well. Whatever Cassandra does as well. She was talking about this. That's what about the shenanigan friends. I don't know whether I'm a shenanigan, because I never knew who the shenanigans friends were in my group, and it's supposed to be, if you don't know who the shenanigan friend is in the group, it's probably you. It's the shenanigan friend is the person who's always doing something weird or off the wall, and ultimately ends up causing problems and troubles. They're up to shenanigans all the time. And I don't know. I didn't think anyone else was like that in the groups of friends I hang out with, but because I'm typically the weird one, no matter what group of friends I'm hanging out with. I'm always the weird one. I'm always sort of the odd man out. That's why even now when they have this is true before. I didn't mind hanging out with younger people. I didn't mind I didn't have to hang out always with people who were my own age, or what's called my peer group, because if I'm always the odd man out, then who cares if the people that I'm hanging out with are younger? I mean, because I'm still the odd man out the way I was before. Even if I'm hanging out with people my own age in terms of my peer group, if you want to go peer group by age. Then I'm still the odd man out. There's no difference. So it was never an issue to me. And because I'm always the odd man out, it seems to be that I was always the one to either start or get into some form of trouble that that could be classified as shenanigans. Anyways, it's time to get the day started. So I will see you around YouTube. For those of you who are on YouTube and want to hang out and say hello, don't be afraid to comment or send me a message. I will be back tomorrow. Take a look at the down below. I have my funding issues are down there. The university's down there. The university programs I've created are down there. And there will be the talk abouts and shout outs down there as well. Alright, take it easy.